This is the San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans by the fans, with Josh Taylor, Justin Smead, and Jason Eidsmoe. We're talking Padres, Chargers, and Aztec sports.
Gotta hit it to the right place. And he hits it out to center. Right center. Blackman's got a long way to go. He's still going.
Off the wall.
And it is off the wall. It takes a funny hop. Kemp is rounding second. He's heading to third. And Matt Kemp into third base with a triple and the first cycle in the history of the San Diego Padres.
He will hand it off. Tomlinson plows his way towards the goal line. LaDainian Tomlinson, one step closer to football immortality. Tomlinson has tied the single-season record. And the handoff to Tomlinson. Left side, and he will gallop into the end zone. Charger fans are witnesses to history.
Pope thought about it. Now steps up. And the freshman hits the jumper at the buzzer.
Well, this kid is some prospect. Big time length, big time game.
Pope straight away three. Count it. Malik Pope. Pope off glass and good. On the other end, Joel doesn't miss that one. Shepard alley-oop to Pope. He got up there. Oh, wow.
It's time to let your voice be heard.
Every time we work out, every time we touch this field, man, think of yourself as a damn champ. You're the champ of the world, baby. Work like that. You gotta think like that.
Have fun playing football, baby. We're gonna put in the work.
Yeah, you gotta think like that. You be the champ of the world one day.
It's going to town, though. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. 1, 2, 3. We the boss.
Whether it's good or bad, you bleed with them. We could be really great to share.
Oh, my goodness. It is Christmas morning finally here. That audio, of course, courtesy of Chargers.com. We are the San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for the fans.
By the fans.
I'm Jason Eidsmoe, here for the pregame show. Sitting alongside of me virtually via Skype is Justin Smead. How's it going today, Justin?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Real good, real good. We got on the phone line as well from the San Diego Domination podcast, David Drugmeyer. How you doing today on this Christmas morning, David?
Hey, what could be better, gentlemen? What could be better than starting out a beautiful Sunday morning with Chargers football?
Oh, I know. We've been waiting so long. We'll be joined later on by Jake Hefner from BoltBeat.com. He's going to be talking about the Chargers when they're on offense. A couple things I want to remind you. Every Sunday, 9 to 10, we're going to be doing the pregame show all season long. And one other thing, it is football. We've been waiting so long for this. It's like Christmas morning, but let's just take a moment to remember the lives that were lost on this day 15 years ago. It is September 11th, and 15 years ago, we were talking about it before the show, Justin and I, and, you just remember exactly where you were that day.
Exactly.
So,
Is it like you said before? I mean, everybody knows where they were and how devastating that was, and to anybody who was affected, it's truly, truly sad day in our history.
Yeah, but it is football Sunday.
It is
so much stuff to talk about. We have so much stuff to look forward to. Sloppy Joe has come back. He's in the chat room.
What's up, Sloppy? He's always a pregame. Dweller. He was there last year.
Yes,
so.
Love having Sloppy in there, so he'll be throwing some stuff in the chat room. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk. We're going to take at 9:15. We're going to be talking about Chargers when they're on offense. At 9:30, we're going to be talking about Chargers on defense, and then at 9:45, we'll make all of our predictions that are sure to go wrong. That's usually how that works. Starting out inactives today. A couple, Adrian Phillips is inactive, which tells me that they are really high on Dexter McCoy too. Were you Were you surprised, Justin, to see Adrian Phillips on that inactive list?
I guess so. I guess it's a little surprising, but I like Dexter McCoy. I like what we've seen out of him. Not to say Phillips probably can't handle it, right. But they only get to dress 46 guys, so that's just how it works. Some guys are going to get the short end of the stick there, and I love what Dexter brings to the team.
Hey, David, the Chargers made inactive 3 offensive linemen, Max Turek, Tyreek Burwell, and Kenny Wiggins. That means that they only have 7 offensive linemen today. With our history of injuries, do you think that this is a wise choice, or do you think that maybe Wiggins or Burwell should have been active as well today?
I mean, you can never tell, obviously, but I mean, you got to remember the Chargers' offensive line is healthier than they have been in the last several years. So seems like the coaching staff is real comfortable with the starting 5 they got out there. And then obviously Spencer Pulley, and a couple of the other backups, they're comfortable with the men they brought with them. So hopefully the offense run by Ken Wisenhunt is going to protect this O-line and hopefully keep them healthy. Because, I mean, if not, it's going to be scary.
Yeah, I think the key to the offensive line staying healthy is they played so passively last year because of all the passing. If they can actually be driving forward, I think that there's less opportunity for injury and for rolling on guys. Hal has joined us in the chat room. He says R.I.P. to Bosa's hamstring. Speaking of health, the Chargers don't. Joey Bosa, since he's not active, didn't even have to be reported on the injury report. We don't have anybody on the injury report. I can't remember the last time I saw that.
It's a miracle.
Chiefs, of course, Justin Houston is out, which is nice. Nice for us anyways. Jamal Charles will be out. To me, that's not that big of a deal, actually, because Charcandrick West and Spencer Ware and Niall Davis seem to run it right up our poop hole the last few times we played against them. So those guys worry me also. Tamba Ali is active. I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to play, but the Chargers have a real opportunity here, offensive line wise, to do something with those guys out. Were you expecting Tamba Ali to be active today, Justin? I was kind of hoping they'd make him inactive.
I wasn't expecting him at all to be in this game or even be thought of the way they were talking. But we don't kind of pay attention to the Chiefs as much as everybody else does. You just see things here and there, but definitely concerning. But Tamba Ali, without Justin Houston in there, he's really the guy, the catalyst that gets their defense rolling. Not to say Tamba Ali's not capable, but surprising, a little bit surprising.
Another inactive on the Chargers list, Isaiah Burse, and that bums me out a little bit because that means, first of all, there's no bigger Craig Mager fan than me. You guys tease me constantly about being such a Mager fan.
2 interceptions today.
I'm not. That's 2 of his 3 that he's going to get this year. But I'm not a huge fan of him returning kicks, and I wanted to see Isaiah Burse returning kicks. David, was this just a numbers thing where they just didn't have the roster room to put Burse out there, or are the Chargers comfortable with Mager returning kicks?
Well, honestly, this move is a little confusing to me. I mean, I would think, you would give the superior athlete the opportunity to return kicks, and I feel like Isaiah Burse is definitely a superior athlete to Craig Mager. I feel like he's got better burst, better agility, and those are some of the things you look for in a kick returner. I mean, I'm not inside the coach's head, so I mean, it's kind of difficult for me to tell, but I don't know. I mean, I guess we're going to have to see how Craig Mager does. But honestly, if we're judging by his play at the cornerback position, I am not too excited for that.
Yeah, not many are. For some reason, not many are. I think I'm the only guy driving that bus. Now, Andre Williams, the running back we picked up after the cuts were made, is inactive. That's not a real big shock. We weren't expecting him to be ready yet, but that means that Kenneth Farrow is active. And I know, Justin, you were a big fan of Kenneth Farrow. Do you see him getting some time today on the field?
Oh, I certainly do. This is going to be a running back by committee, and we know that. Melvin is the bell cow, if you will, but they will use all their backs. They have traditionally. They did with Ken Wisenhunt in 2013. They used a lot of Ronnie Brown. They mixed everybody in. I think you'll see 70% of the snaps get into Melvin, and the 30% will be divvied up between Woody and Farrow. So, yeah, it's nice to see him in there. I hope the rookie gets a shot today.
Want to thank Cisco for joining us in the chat room. He just got in there, says, thank God football is back. We all agree with you.
What's up, Cisco?
Hal mentioned in there he thought that's what Benjamin was signed for, was for kick returns. Now, I do know that they brought Travis Benjamin in for punt returns.
Right.
Do you guys know if he has a whole lot of kick return experience and if that's something that they were contemplating? I know he's not going to be returning kicks, but was that a possibility this year? What do you think, David? Did you see that happening at all, or is he just for punts?
He's got the skill set to do it. He's definitely, obviously, you know what he does in the open field. The guy's electric. You get blockers in front of him, and, he can hit the home run at any time. So, I mean, can he return kicks? Absolutely. But when you got a guy who you just gave a 4-year, $20+ million contract to, you probably want to be concerned with protecting your investment. So, returning punts, I get it, but, you want to make sure to maybe mitigate the risk a little bit. So, maybe keeping him restricted to returning punts is probably the smarter play here.
Yeah, I agree. I think injury is a concern. Your number 2 wide receiver, you don't want him out there too much. What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking as well. You don't want to risk injury to a guy you like David said, paying that kind of money to. And he's let's be honest, he's here to be a threat on offense, to blow the top off of defenses, not to necessarily be a game changer in the kicking game, which is nice, but I'd rather have him out there in the slot for Phillip Rivers.
Nice. All right, guys, what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to come back on the other side, and we are going to be talking about what the Chargers need to do offensively to be successful. Hopefully bring Jake Hefner in from boltbeat.com. Listen to some San Diego Superchargers theme song. We'll be back in a minute.
Calling all podcasters. Have you ever wanted your voice to be heard? Do you need help expanding your audience? Are you curious just how far your show could reach? Well, look no further. We are New Media Radio Network, the premier podcast streaming network. Let us take your show to the next level. For more information, check out our website, www.newmediaradio.net.
Time has come. You know we're shooting for number 1. Thunderbolts and lightning will light up the sky.
Really?
Bring you guys on now. Hopefully Jake's here. We'll find out. All right, San Diego Superchargers theme song. Love it. I know some people say they're tired of it. I'll never tire of it.
Put it on repeat, brother.
Yes,
I love it.
Absolutely.
All day
long. It is now time to talk about what the Chargers need to do on offense. I'm hoping we have Jake Hefner. Jake, are you there?
Here, sir.
Oh, my God.
Sounds like he's in a porta potty.
We are 13 minutes in with zero. Well, see, now I just screwed up. I said we are 13 minutes in with no technical difficulties, and now I start to hear some technical difficulties.
Haven't you learned, man? It doesn't matter whether it's by players or anything like that. You can't jinx something like this, Jason.
I deserve it. I don't even believe in jinxes. I still think I jinxed it. So Chargers on offense. The Chargers have struggled offensively against the Chiefs the last couple times they played. Rivers has been sacked quite a bit. We'll go around the room here, and first of all, we'll say, what are your keys for the Chargers offense to be successful? Since you're the newcomer to the show today, Jake, we'll start with you. The keys to the Chargers on offense today.
It's 2 factors, really. You got to protect Phillip Rivers, number 1. You're going to have an advantage for the fact that Tamba Ali's not going to be 100%. Justin Houston's not going to be in there. They were both huge factors in the last 2 meetings that San Diego had against Kansas City last year. Phillip Rivers wasn't able to get in a rhythm a lot of the time as far as getting the passing game going. Obviously, the run game at that point was virtually non-existent against the front seven of Kansas City. And that's the other factor. Get Melvin Gordon going, control the tempo, control the clock. The more that San Diego can keep that defense on the field, the more advantages that they're going to have in winning this game. Going into a hostile environment in Arrowhead and the type of raucous crowd that it always is, but especially on the first week of football, going up against a division rival, this game is absolutely crucial. You always have to say for San Diego that if it comes to making the playoffs, that you have to win your division games first and foremost. And, you went 0-6 in the division last year, so you definitely need to get off on a right start. So protection for Phillip Rivers and getting the run game going, two biggest keys, in my opinion, on the offense to this game.
Justin, what are your keys to the Chargers offensively being successful today?
Well, I'm going to piggyback off Jake. I think we all can agree on this. You have to protect 17. I'm really interested today. Guys, these tight ends, I'm interested to see the jumbo packages with the fullback Ken Whisenhunt has implemented. I'm looking forward to a power downhill run game by the Chargers, set up their blocks, let Derek Watt pave a road for Melvin Gordon, and get some good yardage on each carry. I want to see consistency from the run game. That's the biggest thing for me, and obviously protect 17. We all know what happened last year with that crazy makeshift offensive line combinations. So that would be my keys.
David, what do you got for keys for victory Chargers offensively today?
Well, since the other two gentlemen hammered home the two pretty obvious points, I'm going to go a little bit off script here. There's a rookie that's starting at corner that's going to be pretty much trailing Travis Benjamin all day, and his name is Phillip Gaines. He's relatively weak, I would say, so I would look for the Chargers to pick on Phillip Gaines repeatedly in this game, try to expose him, and then that will in turn open up the middle of the field for guys like Hunter Henry, Antonio Gates, and Keenan Allen to just slice up the middle of that defense, because we got to take advantage of this Kansas City Chiefs weakened linebacking core. And I think that is the best opportunity to do it. Take advantage of the middle of the field and expose Phillip Gaines on the outside.
I love that. It kind of gives us the opportunity to really get a chance to see Travis Benjamin, and why we brought him in here. He didn't have a chance to go out there and maybe dominate somebody that he has. We did it a little bit different here. I went last. I always get to go first, and this time I went last to give you threw you guys a bone there. But
you got a little bit of humble, huh?
I did.
Yeah. Look at this guy. He's giving himself credit.
People were getting tired of hearing my opinion first, so I went last this time. Offensively, humble Harriet. We got Chargers on offense. This is what I'm looking for. I'm going on the other side of the line from David, and I'm saying Keenan Allen versus Marcus Peters. I'm really interested to see. I believe Keenan Allen is a top line wide receiver. The jury's still out. When you hear people nationally, there's a lot of people who don't quite think he's there yet, that he's upper echelon. I believe he is, and I think today he needs to come out and prove that to those haters nationally. And then Matt Slauson versus Don Terry Poe. I want to see I want to see. This will be the first game in how many years that the Chargers did not issue a pair of roller skates to their center. We need Matt Slauson to hold that line. We need Phillip Rivers to be able to drop back and not have somebody sitting in his face. I don't want to see any jammed fingers with him hitting helmets because they're so close to him. And I'm going to be watching that matchup very, very closely. I think the Matt Slauson versus Don Terry Poe matchup is critical to the Chargers being successful today, run and pass. Something that you mentioned earlier, Justin, I think that maybe we need to go around and talk about a little bit more is the jumbo package. You talked about them kind of putting the bigger guys in there, the the two tight ends, the fullback Derek Watt, who we haven't had a fullback in a couple years, a significant, a real true fullback. Is that a package that you think that we're going to see a lot today, Justin?
Yeah, I do. I just kind of going back to the Ken Whisenhunt era here, the short time he was here, you did see that two tight end sets. He mixed that in, I think, quite a bit, if I'm recalling right. But I would love to see that with Hunter Henry's ability to block and block at a high level, it seems like. Now, he hasn't done it on an actual game day, but we'll see that today on display. this has to be the focal point today, guys, or going forward all season. They have to have an attitude about running the football, because last year it was non-existent. You cannot win games in this league if you cannot run the football. If Phillips going to throw it 60 times a game, you're not going to win many games. He's going to be back there taking shots because they're going to pin their ears back and go after him. So getting these formations in line, getting these blocks set up for Melvin to get 3 to 4 yards of carry, they really got to drive that home this season.
Hey, Jake, the jumbo package that Justin's talking about, do you see them using that in non-short yardage situations today?
100%. Justin made a great point in bringing that up initially. Keep in mind, I believe there's 7 new additions to this Chargers offense that Kansas City was not familiar with last year. And, Hunter Henry being one of them, for the fact that the Chargers weren't able to run too many tight end sets last season. And when you add in a player with the dynamic that Hunter Henry has, not only for his reputation for his pass catching capability, but for his blocking as well. And we all know that Phillip Rivers does not play favorites when it comes to throwing the ball. Whoever is open is open. And if Kansas City is looking at who it is that they're supposed to defend today, obviously your eyes go directly to Antonio Gates. It goes to Keenan Allen. I honestly think that Hunter Henry could get lost in the shuffle of things. I would be interested in seeing what Kansas City does as far as their coverage that they put on him. And I kid you not, he's going to get a couple of balls that are thrown, and he's going to become a focal point of this offense eventually down the line. But I think today specifically, he's going to be in some key third down situations to where you're actually going to see him convert on those short yardage if you get into a 3rd and 4 or a 3rd and 3, and he's going to really become the go-to guy because everybody's focus is elsewhere.
David, with the more chances for the Chargers to run that jumbo package, what do you see the splits today, shotgun versus Phillip Rivers under center? I know that it was about 99-1 last season. Do you see that being I'm not sure it's going to ever get closer to 50-50, but what do you see? Do you see maybe 60 shotgun, 40 under center, or do you see them even being able to approach 50-50 today?
Well, when you got Phillip Rivers, he's adept with in pretty much any offensive system you want to throw him in. He knows exactly what's going on. He knows what the defense is doing. He knows how to put the offense in the best play to succeed. Honestly, I think last time when Ken was here, the Chargers were at their best when they were under center, both throwing the ball and running the ball. One thing I wanted to talk about with the big package is, if you run the ball efficiently through that 2 tight end set, then that'll set up your play action through with that 2 tight end set as well. That'll allow you to mix things up and not be as predictable as they were last year. Because I think everybody in the world knew what Frank Reich was doing, and especially the defensive coordinators, because they dominated him last year. I don't think that's going to be the case because Ken Whisenhunt is a real NFL offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I agree. I got tired of people kind of hammering on Frank Reich, but it was not getting any better. I do agree with you on that sense. I kept thinking it was going to get better. Yeah, shotgun draw,
right.
It just was not.
Up the middle.
It was not working, and I'm
Ham
so
sandwich.
happy.
7-yard loss. Peanut butter and jelly.
Oh man, I used to work with a guy that had a ham and cheese sandwich every day, and I asked him why do you eat ham and cheese every day, and he said, because I like it. Hey,
very simple.
Hey, Jake, we talked in the very, very beginning, but I wanted to get your thoughts today. Active for the Chargers on the offensive line, we have the 5 starters, but then Spencer Pulley and Chris Hairston are the only 2 backup offensive linemen. Are you worried, going into the game only having 7 offensive linemen? Does that concern you at all, or what you think that'd be enough?
Well, there's two sides of the story. We all know how badly the offensive line has performed in this team and how susceptible they've been to injuries in the past. But all 5 starters are healthy, so I can't necessarily knock them for this. You got to have some faith that these guys are going to be able to withstand the storm and do their jobs out there. So, is it a scary thing? Yeah, but at the same time, you take out those reserve offensive linemen that you would normally have in there to back up because of so many injuries. Now you have so many other people that are now active on offense that is going to be able to afford you that versatility to put in different packages, to be able to do a little bit more on offense because of the personnel that you have elsewhere. So I like the fact that there is only 2 reserve linemen active today. I know that maybe some people won't agree as far as just being, a just in case type of scenario, given what we've seen with this offensive line in the past. But I love it, and I think for the fact that it's Pulley and Hairston that are the 2, reserves for today, I think it says a lot for what Spencer Pulley has done as an undrafted free agent out of Vanderbilt, and to surpass a lot of people on this team that have been here for a longer period of time.
Let's talk a little bit about the wide receivers. We mentioned Travis Benjamin earlier, but Keenan Allen, it's kind of interesting how many question marks we have. Keenan Allen coming off of the lacerated kidney. If anybody knows about kidney problems, it's me. Him and I are kidney brothers, I guess. We got Travis Benjamin, who came over, and we really didn't get to see a whole lot of him out of in the training camp. Tyrell Williams, we're expecting him to make the big step up, and Dontrell Inman, who got hurt and really didn't play that much. Are there a little bit of concerns, or do you think this is going to be a coming out party maybe for Dontrell Inman and Tyrell Williams? They're only carrying 4 wide receivers, Justin. Do you see Tyrell Williams and Dontrell Inman seeing the field and contributing today?
Oh, they're going to see plenty of the field. Expect Tyrell Williams to have a big day with I'm drawing a blank on the corner, guys. Help me out. The stud they got.
Marcus Peters.
Marcus Peters. With Marcus Peters shadowing Keenan all day, not to say Keenan can't beat him. He can probably beat any corner in the league, but expect Travis and Tyrell to have a really big impact in this game today. If they're going to get going, what Tyrell has to do and is make up for what the loss of Malcolm Floyd is. He has to be that guy to stretch the field, go up high, make the catch. He's got to bring some of that Malcolm Floyd to this football team this season.
David, are Tyrell Williams and Dontrell Inman ready to make that leap and be contributing members today?
I think this is Tyrell Williams' shot right here. I mean, and if you look at last year, the wide receiver core, especially when Keenan went down, was so weak. The lead, for example, the leading receiver against the Kansas City Chiefs last year was Javonte Herndon. Javonte Herndon is no longer on an NFL football team this year. So that goes to show you just how damaged they were last year and how much more talented they are this year. Tyrell Williams is a younger version of Malcolm Floyd, and he's just as tall and a lot faster. Maybe the 50-50 balls I give to Malcolm, at least at this point in Tyrell's career, but that could change. You know what you got in Tyrell Williams. You got a big body receiver that's got some speed. So I feel like, since all the attention is probably going to be paid to Travis Benjamin and especially Keenan Allen, this might be an opportunity for Tyrell Williams to sneak in some really exciting plays.
Let's not forget, guys, Phillip Rivers makes people look very good. How many different wide receivers over the years have we seen come in here and have
exactly.
Yes, guys like that. I mean, Legadou Nane, you guys that you wouldn't think would be on anybody's radar. He'll make guys here better, and he always does.
Well, that's going to wrap up the offensive section. I'm going to go ahead, and Jake's going to only be with us for this section. So I'm going to give you the last moment here to you, Jake, if you want to talk about the Chargers defensively real quickly before we go to break, and then of course before you go, you have to make a prediction on the score and the player of the game before you go, Jake. What do you got?
Well, defensively, there's nothing different than what the Chargers have to improve upon for the past 2 years, and it's the run defense. Everything starts up front. Obviously, Brandon Mebane, we talked extensively earlier this week about how much of a difference maker he has already made just as, a player on that defensive line, in the locker room. Him being able to get penetration is going to be able to open up holes for the other players along the front seven. So if you can stop the run game, or I can't say stop, I could say at least limit the run game and be able to contain Alex Smith. This has been the biggest problem of the Chargers with certain quarterbacks. And, you may not picture Alex Smith as a mobile kind of quarterback, but when he needs to, he's able to use his legs and extend plays. And especially if you look at the San Francisco game and then the Vikings game in the preseason, again, there were problems with containment, other guys over pursuing. You can't do that against this team and allow them to extend, plays and be able to keep the drives going longer. So everything starts up front for the defensive line with Brandon Mebane. And in turn, if you're able to do these jobs and get pass rush on the quarterback, then your corners are going to have a much easier time in coverage as far as being able to cover the tight ends and the wide receivers. Again, they were fifth in defense as far as covering wide receivers. So I think that they won't have any problems shutting down Jeremy Maclin, but again, they've always had the Achilles heel has been going up against tight ends and the run game. So they're going to have to limit how much Kansas City is going to be able to do in those facets of the offense.
What do you got for prediction today and your player of the game, Jake?
Well, as much as I've been talking up the Chargers today, and I know that everything sounds positive, I'm actually saying this for the mere fact of I would love to see them prove me wrong. Kansas City is still Kansas City, and I know that they're not going to be 100% healthy, but until I see a difference actually being made against the run, I cannot predict him to win this game because everything is going to run through Spencer Ware and Charkandrick West today, and going on the road in Arrowhead Stadium is no joke by any means. Doesn't matter if it's the Chargers or if it's anybody else. And week 1 of the season, divisional game, there's going to be a lot of emotions flying high today. So unfortunately, again, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going to take Kansas City 24, San Diego 20.
And who do you got for your player of the game from the Chargers?
Player of the game, I'm going to, much like my good colleague Justin, I'm going to bang the Tyrell Williams gong today. And nice. Just because of the mere fact that, you guys touched on it just a couple minutes ago, where is all the attention of the Kansas City defense going to be? It's going to go to Keenan Allen. It's going to go to Antonio Gates. And if they're not able to get the running game going to what they need it to be, I think that Tyrell is going to play a huge part in this game because aside from the last game in Denver last year, there really isn't that much film that you could study up on Tyrell. And in just one season, you could see how much he's already grown and how much better he's matured as a player. So I think as far as the versatility that he brings being able to play either on the outside or the slot, I think he's going to get a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different looks from that defense. And again, he's just going to have multiple opportunities to be open and extend drive. So I think really it's going to be Tyrell Williams' show today.
Well, I hope you're right about the player of the game and you're wrong about the score. Jake Hefner, you guys can all read articles from him from boltbeat.com. Jake, thanks a lot for joining us. We look forward to talking to you Wednesday about Charger victory.
Sounds like a plan, guys. Enjoy the game.
All right, thanks a lot. So that was Jake Hefner joining us for the segment. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk about what the Chargers need to do on defense.
Help with your business project that is due? Maybe you need business cards to help your business stand out. We at San Diego Sports Junkies got you covered. SK Digital Imaging can do it all. Give our buddy Sean K a call, 858-408-0732. SK Digital Imaging, from business cards to the bigger projects, SK Digital Imaging and our buddy Sean K will get your printing done right.
Running this game, this is 619 straight, born and raised. This ain't no fad or phase. This is Cali for life. We gon' rally tonight, so pump your fist till you get it right, and keep it real so all the day go can feel you buffing out. Sing the anthem so the whole.
All right, Chargers anthem from POD. Love this song as well. Not quite as much as the old 70s Chargers song, but love this one as well. We are rolling along. We are going to be talking about the Chargers on defense, what the Chargers defensively need to do to be victorious today. And I'm going to go ahead and throw it at you first, David, to start us off. Chargers, when they're on defense, what are you looking for?
I mean, the first and most important thing is very, very easy and very clear to say. If you got to stop the run. I know we might be beating a dead horse here, but it has to happen in order for the Chargers to win. And also, you got to make sure to protect against those tight ends because Andy Reid loves his tight ends. On my podcast earlier this week, we spoke to the Kansas City sideline reporter, Danny Welniak, and she was telling us that Andy Reid is really loving his tight ends right now. And so don't be surprised if you see multiple tight end sets, maybe 2 or 3 tight ends on the field at the same time. So I look for Dexter McCoyle and inside linebacker Jatavis Brown to be shadowing some of those tight ends on defense because those two guys got the speed and the coverage ability to take some of those tight ends away.
You know, that's one of the things that I had written down was I'm a little bit worried about the tight end play, and I even have written down I need the DBs to play tight, but to watch out for the play action, and I have Travis Kelce written down. You know, we talked about, you know, we've had some changes in our secondary. You know, we had a big leader who left, Eric Weddle. We have made some changes. Are you concerned about the tight end, the defense against the tight ends, Justin? Does that concern you?
Well, I'm glad you guys brought that up because, I mean, if like he David alluded to, Andy Reid runs a tight end system. They love their tight ends, and Alex Smith is your traditional dink and dunk all the way down the field. So, yes, you got to be aware of them. And good point by David as well. These linebackers have to be on their game today, covering these guys, making sure that they're in the right spots, whether it's a zone or a man-to-man. These guys got to execute because Alex Smith. Let's face it. When he's flushed out, he can run as well. So he presents a problem for us all day long. He can run for a first down. He can go up through the middle of the line. He can slide down, get that extra few yards. He's very mobile, so it's very concerning. It'll be telling at the beginning of the game because they'll be firing on all cylinders, and it's up to our defense to make some stands. We got to get that crowd out of this game.
You know, the hype and the talk about how great Brandon Mebane has looked is over. Now it's time to see it happen. The running backs for the Kansas City Chiefs, like I said before, Jamal Charles is out. I almost would rather he was in because West and Ware and now Davis all just take it to us when they play against us, and the key is going to be Brandon Mebane versus Mitch Morse. He needs to versus Mitch Morse and whoever else is double teaming him, because that's what needs to happen. They need to have they need to be double teamed, whether it's you know, it doesn't matter which guard it is. I need to see him double teamed because he needs to free up our linebackers. Our linebackers need to be able to make tackles, and when you can start making tackles, then you don't start falling for that play action, because I am worried about the play action, not necessarily to the wide receivers though, but to the tight ends. That's a key. And another thing that you guys all brought up and Jake brought up before he left, nobody really thinks about Alex Smith as a running quarterback, but all he does is scramble for 10 yards on third down, scramble for 12 yards on third down, scramble for 6 yards on third down, and as a fan, it makes you want to throw your remote through the goddamn television.
Dude, seriously.
And the defensive line, the defensive line really needs to step up. And I'm not just talking about, we talked about Brandon Mebane, but I need to see Corey Liuget. I need to see Darius Philon. I need to see Tenny Palapoy. I need to see these guys get in there and do their job so the linebackers can make some tackles. David, do you see Liuget and Philon stepping up also alongside Brandon Mebane today?
I do, definitely. I feel for Corey Liuget because, ever since he's been a member of the Chargers, he's been pretty much doing it by himself on the defensive line.
Yes.
And, that makes his job extremely difficult. And I've been saying it for months, and I know we keep on harping on Mebane, but he really is the key to this defense as far as making everyone else's jobs easier. The person who's going to draw those double teams is Brandon Mebane, and now Corey Liuget's going to be rushing freer and having to go just one-on-one more often. And I like I like those odds. I'd like to see Corey Liuget get more one-on-one battles because I think he can win a lot of one-on-one battles with his array of pass rush moves, his strength, and just his overall savvy as far as what he's done in the league. So, I'd like to see a good game out of Corey Liuget, but also, don't forget about Darius Philon. Darius Philon's got to step up and contribute to that pass rush, and as well as securing the edge. Make sure that he keeps contained on the outside and does not let those running backs get by him. Those are going to be really important.
Another thing that I was noticing is the Chargers have active 9 DBs today. The only one that's not active is Adrian Phillips, but Pierre Desir is active, which is a little bit surprising. Do you think they anticipate maybe not necessarily a prolific pass offense, but do you think that they got these guys in here? They're going to be playing tight, and they're going to be really, really trying to expecting that our defensive line is going to be able to take away that run, so our secondary needs to take away that West Coast offensive pass game. What are your thoughts on that, Justin?
Well, I mean, I don't know what the reasoning is for the extra DBs, but I know for one thing, I mean, our solid three in Flowers, Verrett, and Hayward, I really love that combination and nickel packaging. I don't know the reasoning for all the DBs. I think they're going to expect a heavy pass game. I know in Kansas City they want to ramp up that passing game. I know it's been a concern of theirs for a long time. Last year they went how many games without scoring a scoring TD by a wide receiver, something crazy. But yeah, I think they're going to try to get the ball down the field. But they're gonna run the football and they're going to dink and dunk you to death. So I expect our corners to be tight. I'm not scared of any of the receivers. Jeremy Maclin has speed, but we have Jason Verrett on the outside to cover that speed. So not concerning to me as far as CBs versus the wide receivers.
Melvin Ingram, Jerry Atauchu, Kyle Emanuel, Torque Williams, they're going to be playing outside linebacker today. They do have the Kansas City, they have that run game. They seem to get rid of the ball real fast. What are your thoughts, David, on pressure and the pass rush? Do you think that there's a lot of opportunity for sacks today?
Yeah, I do. There's a couple of rookie guards that are in there for the Kansas City Chiefs in this game, and I feel like they're going to get brutalized, especially by Melvin Ingram. I honestly take Melvin Ingram and put him on one of those rookie guards and just let him eat him for lunch. Because Melvin Ingram is one of the guys that I've been very impressed with. He looks like he's in incredible shape. He looks like he has a good, strong frame of mind. He looks healthy. And I feel like this guy is primed for a breakout season. Not just this game, but he's going to have a great season. And for him, like we've said earlier in one of these shows, he's going to be laughing all the way to the bank after this season.
Great point, David. Reading about an article about Melvin's silence this year with the press and the media, he hasn't talked to anybody. They said he's just kept his nose to the grindstone. He's been working his ass off. So whether that entails a great season or not, we don't know until he actually goes out there. But his 10 sacks were encouraging last year. But, try not to get them all in one game and be more of a consistent player. That guy can take over a game if he really gets after it. So good point by David with those 2 rookie tackles. I think, like he said, we're going to take their lunch money and their women. They're going to take their women too. So you know how
much footy women.
Exactly. So got to get the pressure. And I think this, being relatively healthy, knock on wood, we're primed for a good season on defense. I really believe that.
I agree with you. SoCal Trav just joined the chat room. Thanks for joining. Hal brings up a point when we talked about Corey Liuget, and it's a kind of a little bit of a different spin. Surprisingly, Hal looks at it differently than us. He says he has zero empathy for Corey Liuget. He signed a big $1 million contract, and he said that he got complacent last season. That seems to be a running theme for Chargers signing big contracts. So I do think that it with the power on that defensive line, there's no reason for complacency. He needs to step up and play a good game and show why we made that we gave him that contract.
If I could respond to that just real quick.
Sure.
You got to remember Corey Liuget, like I said earlier, has been playing with absolutely nobody of talent next to him for the past several years.
Agree with you on
that. So
that.
you cannot put all of that on Corey Liuget. Corey Liuget can only do so much. I mean, when he's worried about doing his job and worried about the people next to him doing their job, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for him to actually do his job correctly. I mean, now he's got good talent next to him, and he can focus on his assignments and winning his assignments today.
I do agree with you on that. He really has been a lone guy on that defensive line, and
come on, guys, you're downgrading Kendall Reyes now. Are you? Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. He was so good here.
Oh, man.
Oh, the blocking sled himself.
You know what? You don't knock on my boy Kendall Reyes, okay, guys?
Yeah.
So
he's such a great acquisition.
So we're going to go ahead.
Roller skate.
Yes.
Exactly.
We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to come back. The last segment's going to be the shortest one. We're going to come back. We're going to make our predictions. We're going to make our who we think the player of the game is going to be, and then we can talk about Wednesday how I was right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, guys.
I gotta get off and get up in the end zone. I gotta rush for at least a G today. Cause I got ballin' in my DNA. Okay, I think I got ballin' in my DNA. I think I got ballin' in my DNA. I think I got ballin' in my DNA. Gotta double out and get my money now. San Diego Superchargers, there's nobody. That goes harder, blue and yellow thunder.
Cali Comfort Barbecue in Spring Valley was built for West Coast Sunday morning football and fight night. Cali Comfort Barbecue has quickly become San Diego's slow smoke barbecue sports entertainment destination. Full service catering available for all your tailgating needs. CaliComfortSB.com.
San Diego, we the home of the diehards. Everywhere you go, all you gonna see is that blue and yellow, blue and yellow. You hear the crowd go live. Look at
All right, we're back. Want to thank everybody in the chat room for joining us today. Want to thank everybody who's listening for joining and being part of this. We have a lot of fun doing this every Sunday. It's probably the funnest show that we do. We love our Wednesday show, but this one is just, we're so excited about the game, and I do hate playing 10 o'clock games in the morning. I like the chance to maybe settle into my day and then watch the 1 o'clock game, but it is what it is. At least we're not playing the second game on Monday night. We're going to go around the horn. We're going to also take predictions from the chat room. This is going to surprise you, Justin, but SoCal Trav says his player of the game will be Denzel Perryman. He's got 2 sacks coming from him, and then he has Tyrell Williams on offense. And as negative as Hal is in the chat room, he does say that he hopes that the Chargers win, and he does want to see Phillip Rivers do good. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and go first this time, give you guys a chance to kind of put your thoughts together, what you think. I got the Chargers winning, of course. It's a broken record no matter what. Every single week, that's what I predict because I really think that they're going to win. Does that take away some of my journalistic integrity? Well, it doesn't matter because I'm not a journalist. I'm a fan. I think they're going to win every single week. Chargers are going to win this game. It's going to be close. They're going to win 26-23. And my player of the game, with Brandon Mebane on that defense and all those other guys getting looks at, I got Kyle Emanuel as my player of the game.
Nice.
I got him. I got Kyle Emanuel having maybe 1 or 2 sacks, maybe causing a fumble or recovering a fumble. So I got the Chargers winning 26-23. Kyle Emanuel, my player of the game. We got SoCal Trav on the line. Quickly, SoCal, what's your score and your prediction for player of the game?
I think I predicted what did I predict the other night?
I forget the score. You're going to have to do it again.
We're going to go score. We're going to go 27-23 Chargers. And player of the game on defense will be my boy Perriman with 2 sacks and Tyrell Williams on offense with probably, 2 touchdowns, 100 and some odd yards receiving.
Nice. Cool. Thanks for joining us, Trav. We're gonna hit up the rest of the guys here for predictions, man.
Well, have a great Sunday, gentlemen. We'll see you next weekend at the Q at H3.
Absolutely, man. Go Bolts.
Go Bolts.
All right. We got Cisco has the Chargers winning 23-20 with a field goal deciding it. Sloppy Joe has the Chargers win 26-20. David, what's your prediction for the score and who's going to be the player of the game?
For me, I got the Bolts winning. I haven't changed my stance in a week. I've been pretty clear about that. I feel it's going to be 27-20. I think Chargers are going to win by a touchdown. I feel like the player of the game on offense is going to be twofold. It's going to be Matt Slauson for solidifying the middle of that offensive line, and Melvin Gordon on offense. I feel like Melvin Gordon is primed to have a big game, especially with that weekend linebacking core I talked about earlier. On defense, I feel like it's going to be Mebane and Jason Verrett, the all-pro corner. I feel like Verrett's going to get a pick, and he's going to help seal this game today.
Nice. I love the Gordon. You've been banging the Gordon drum all offseason. I love it too, because all the haters out there from his rookie season, which I still don't think was his fault. I love that, and I want to see him do good so badly. We spent all last year predicting he was going to score touchdowns, so we're trying to get out of the Gordon touchdown prediction game until it starts happening. Cisco has the Mebane as the player of the game, and Hunter Henry on offense with 2 touchdowns. Justin, what do you got?
Yeah, he stole my thunder a little bit with this player of the game, but I'm going a different route, guys. I think they really come out and make a statement today. I'm gonna be pretty positive. I really think this is an underrated team, and from around the entire country, blogging, everybody's predicting the Chargers to be awful again. I don't see that. They're healthy, tons of weapons. They go into Kansas City today and win 38-24. Wow. Jason Verrett's my player of the game. 2 picks, 1 to the house. They're going to try to get it to Macklin, and it's just not going to happen today for him. They don't scare you on offense as much as they pride themselves on just being very consistent and running the football. If they can stop the run, and when they do throw it, they'll have some guys back there ready for to make some plays.
One other prediction that I wanted to make. I like to try and come up with something a little bit different. I have a running back on our team getting his first NFL touchdown, and that is Derek Watt. I think Derek Watt is going to get a touchdown today, running the ball.
Dang, that's pretty ballsy right there.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was thinking about this last night, and I almost forgot to say it. SoCal Trav in the chat room does say that Gordon will get his first rushing touchdown today. I hope he gets his first, second, and third, to be honest with you. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up early today. We all want to get a chance to kind of sit down, settle in before the game starts. David, thank you so much for joining us in the pregame. It was so much fun having you in here, man.
Hey, thank you guys so much, man. One thing I want to say to the fans, before we get this season started, do not use last year's team as any barometer of how they are going to do this year, because they are a lot better, and you're about to see how much better here in a few minutes.
Attaboy.
A lot better and a lot healthier. Justin, it's going to be a fun year, man.
Yes, sir. I'm excited. Way to kick off the opening week with the pregame show. Thanks for everybody for participating. We have a blast doing this, and like we said, it kind of kills the time before the game, and then you can go and watch the game. And all you guys enjoy it, and go Chargers.
Yeah, remember, we only get 16 of these precious regular season games. Go out and enjoy it. Have a lot of fun this week. Go Chargers, and I hope to be...
This year we're getting 20 games.
Yes, regular season. We only get 16 precious regular season games.
We get 20 games this year.
Yeah, we get some bonus games this year. Gentlemen, thanks a lot for joining me.
Don't talk to me that way either.
We look forward to talking about a Chargers victory on Wednesday. David, tell them real quickly about your podcast.
Yeah, hey, you guys can check me out. Look for San Diego Sports Domination podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play. We always talk to some kind of reporter or affiliate of the opposing team, so you can get some insight from that. We also have some interviews from various members of the media in San Diego. Check us out. We really appreciate it. You can find me on Twitter at DHSE619. Feel free to hit me up. Go Chargers.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll check you out Wednesday.
Later.
Thank you for listening to the San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans by the fans. Brought to you by Cali Comfort, home of the low and slow barbecue, and SK Digital Imaging with Josh Taylor, Justin Smead, Jason Eidsmoe, and Mike Maciejewski. Subscribe to us on iHeartRadio, on Spreaker, and on iTunes. Visit SanDiegoSportsJunkies.com for all your Chargers, Padres, and Aztecs news.